Hello, and welcome to the walking talking topic, solving linear equations, question number 4, with me, Mr. Barton. Now, on the face of it, this looks like probably the nastiest solving linear equations question you could ever hope to meet on your GCSE exam paper. There's a minus sign floating around, there's an x here, an x there, but worst of all, there's a couple of fractions, and look at this on the right-hand side, 149 over 12. But if you just take a step back and think about it for a little bit, it's actually not that bad a question at all. Now, whenever we're faced with two fractions to add, regardless of the context, a really good idea is to make the denominators common. And even though we've got x's, we're just going to do exactly the same thing. And I've got 3 on the bottom there, 4 on the bottom there, so I'm going to make a common denominator of 12. Now, the advantage of doing 12 is that the right-hand side of the equation, that really nasty right-hand side, is already over 12, so I don't have to worry about him at all. So I'm just going to leave him as 149 over 12. Now let's just be careful here. I have a denominator of 3 and a denominator of 12. I've made the denominator 4 times bigger. So to keep the fraction the exact same size, I'm going to have to make my numerator 4 times bigger. So I'm going to write it as 4 lots of 8x minus 5. On this second fraction, my denominator is 4 and then it's 12, so I've made my denominator 3 times bigger. So again, to keep things nicely balanced, I'm going to do the same with my numerator. 3 lots of 4x plus 5. And as I say, I'm not going to touch my right-hand side. Now let's expand those brackets. So I get 4 lots of 8x is 32x. 4 lots of minus 5 is minus 20. And that's all over 12. And then my second fraction, 3 lots of 4x, well I think that's 12x. 3 lots of positive 5 is positive 15. And again that's all over 12. And that's equal to 149 over 12. Now I've got two fractions here and the denominators are the same, so I can combine those together. So I've got 32x minus 20 plus 12x's plus 15 all over 12. And that's equal to 149 over 12. And let's tidy up the numerator a little bit here. I've got 32x's and 12x's, so I think that's 44x's. And I've got minus 20 and plus 15, so I think that makes a minus 5. And that's over 12, and that's equal to 149 over 12. And at this stage, you've just got to switch your brain on a little bit. Because look what we've got here. We've got something over 12 is equal to something over 12. Well, if they're equal to each other, these numerators must be the same. Something over 12 equals something over 12. So, it's true to say that 44x take away 5 must be equal to 149. It has to be true. Now, once you spot that, you've just got a nice little linear equation to solve. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides. I'm going to get 44x equals, now 149 plus 5, I think is 154. And all that I'm left with now is the task of dividing 154 by 44. Now that looks a pretty nasty one, but if you just take your time, or if you reach for a calculator, or if you do some cancelling of fractions, however you want to do it, you should find that that's going to come to exactly 7 over 2, or 3.5. And once you get that, you've got yourself a very well-earned 4 marks.